And welcome to 2020. I've been on for a while, and I've missed you all. I hope you're all doing well. Had great holidays, and you're excited for a new year. This is that time of year when a lot of agents are still wondering what they're going to do for the year. Some agents have their goals all set. They know where they're headed. But before we get to that, I do want to mention, if you're going to Con Ed for tomorrow, if you're signed up for Con Ed, do us a favor and download the Kahoot app. Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, exclamation point. Go onto your app store, find it, and load it onto your smartphone or your laptop that you're going to bring to class tomorrow, because then you can participate in the answers, and they basically give a group result of the answers that are percentage right and wrong. Eric Graham is going to be handling that part, and he's got a bunch of questions. I think he's got 95. I don't know that we're going to get through them all. We have our litigator, Pat Druke, who is going to do the legal part. That's going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning. He has got a PowerPoint that is chock full of I'll call them war stories, actual cases that he's been involved in where that involved real estate agents finding themselves in lawsuits. So it's going to be, I think, a great presentation by Pat. A lot of fun in Eric's presentation, and then I'm going to hopefully wrap it up with the last 2 hours presenting some goal-setting ideas and some thoughts about how to build your business for 2020. Again, I'll give you a couple of tips right now that hopefully will inspire you to come tomorrow and see a lot more. So, a lot of agents at this time of year are kind of sitting around going, now, what do I do now? It's the first of the year. I'm back to zero production, unless you had a closing in the last couple of days. So what do I do next? And my answer is, well, first of all, I think you need to set goals. I think you need to establish some priorities about where you're going to pursue your business, where you want to be at the end of the year. I noticed one of our agents had a goal of doing $3.5 million, and she exceeded that goal, and I think ended up at about $5 million in production. And to her, I will say congratulations. But she started out with a goal. She had it written down and said, this is where I want to be at the end of the year. And in doing so, she was able to not only meet that goal, but actually beat the goal. And that's a big help. If you have your eye on the direction that you're headed, then you're much more likely to get where you want to go. There's a story, there was a part of the story, Alice in Wonderland, where Alice encounters the Cheshire Cat, and she says to the cat, which way should I go? And the cat says, that depends on where you're going. And she said, well, I really don't know. And the cat said, well, it doesn't much matter then, does it? Any road you take will get you there eventually. So a long time ago, I started to create what I called my own Alice in Wonderland plan, that each year I would sit down and establish goals for myself, not just for my career or my income, but for my family time, my personal time. What did I want to do? What was on my bucket list personally for the next year? I know a lot of you know that I put on my bucket list a bicycle ride a couple of years ago. Well, it's on my bucket list for this year to do 68 miles, and I've started training for that. There's a process to get there. It doesn't happen all at one time. So that's on my bucket list for my own personal life. As far as my career life, I have other goals. I have goals for what I want to see happen within the Deal Doctor environment, how we want to improve that and make it better for you, but also to expand my real estate business, my personal real estate business as well. So over the course of the last couple of months, I've noticed a pattern that a lot of the experienced agents who've been in the business a long time were still busy, even though they weren't closing as many sales. They weren't running around like they were in May, like busy, but they were still working. And I watched what they were working on. And many of them were working at updating their databases, getting mailings out to their databases, buying gifts, holiday gifts for their clients over the years and getting them out and delivered. So they were working, but they shifted their attention to helping to create a better next year by focusing on their marketing plan and their databases and so on. And by sitting down and saying, okay, pen to paper, whatever method you want, here's what I want to accomplish. Here's what it's going to take to help me do that. And tomorrow we're going to drill down a little bit deeper into that. How do you determine what you want to do? How do you determine what it's going to take? How many hours of prospecting? If you want to create $100,000 in gross closed commissions, and I'm just using that as a easy math thing, because I know a lot of you are over that. But easy math, $100,000 in gross closed commissions. If your average commission is $5,000, then you need 20 closings. Again, thumbnail, ballpark, sketching it out. If you have 20 closings in a year, how many of them are buyers and how many of them are sellers? I don't know. What did you do last year? Are you focused on buyers as your primary source of income, or are you focused on sellers? How do you increase that from what your gross closed commissions? How do you increase that? And I'd give you 7 ways tomorrow. Some of them are, for example, sell more houses. If you sell 2 more houses this year than you sold, if you sold 20 last year and you sell 2 more houses, you just gave yourself a 10% raise, assuming that they're all about the same price. That's just on average. If you sell 4 more houses than the 20 you sold last year, you've just given yourself a 20% raise. I don't know how many companies you can work for that give you a 20% raise in a year, but you can do it. You have the choice to set your own goals and establish a program to get there. Set the hours that you want to devote to your family, to your work, and to your personal time. Sometimes family and personal time is we can't divide it. I mean, sometimes our personal fulfillment time is getting the kids to band practice or to dance class or to soccer games or football games. And I get that. I was in that position. But not all of us are at this point. And so you lay out your life plan for the next 12 months at least and say, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to devote my time. And in order to reach a particular goal, you're going to have to figure out how many deals you got closed, what it took to get those deals, how many people did you have to talk to, how many deals did you put together that fell through, and add that all up and go, wow, in order to get 20 deals closed, I have to be out there talking to 800 to 1,000 people during the year, at least. And so if you're not talking to 800 to 1,000 people, and then you start to break that down and go, well, okay, then how many hours per day am I supposed to be prospecting, meeting with, interacting with people, sending out mailers, sending out just sold cards, or holding open houses? How many hours in a week are you going to devote to getting new business, to actively going out and seeking new business? If you're going to wait for it to fall into your lap, then you're not in control of your business. The universe is in control of your business. So, and some people that's worked for. But if you want to take control of your business and your level of income, then it's probably a pretty good idea to sit down and say, okay, what income, with your a spouse, your partner, or if you're live alone, what do you want to have happen next year? What income is going to be acceptable for the things that if you want to take a vacation every quarter to Mexico or to Ireland or Florida or wherever it is, well, you got to build that into your budget, and you've got to allow for that in your planning. And a lot of people just don't. A lot of agents I've seen over the years just don't do that. So I encourage you to set your goals and then figure out a way that you're going to manage your time in order to make those things happen. Any questions, by the way, post them, and Dom will forward them to me. Right now, I've noticed that a lot of agents are, as I said, they're kind of sitting around going, now, what do I do now? Do I wait for the market to start up? Do I wait for, somebody to, they sit there, their marketing plan is to sit there and stare at the phone. I encourage you to try to do something, even if it means sending out your business card saying, hey, I'm, in case you forgot me, I'm in the real estate business and would love to help you or your family with your real estate needs. Something so simple as that can kickstart your year if you do it right now. What else do I have for you? That's kind of just a bit of a primer for tomorrow's session. And I guess if there's nothing else that we want to cover, I can't think of anything right now that has been unusual in terms of situations that have occurred. There's always something new with a new twist. But we've been a little bit slower than usual, so I can't think of anything that comes to mind right at the moment. But I encourage you to come tomorrow. There will be a lot of information. It'll be moving fast, and hopefully we can keep you all awake through the through the hours necessary to get you done with your Con Ed in one day tomorrow. So I think I'll sign off and let y'all come and see what we have to offer for you tomorrow morning. It starts at, registration starts at 8:30, and then our first speaker starts sharply at 10 sharp. So make sure that you're in your seat by 10 o'clock because state of Michigan requires that we do monitor it and have to have everybody in their seats at 10 o'clock. And it will be over at 4:10 in the afternoon, and then you'll be done with Con Ed, thank God, for the rest of the year. So I hope to see you there. Thanks for stopping by, and go get them. It's 2020. Let's get to work.